Hey, good morning. It's Tuesday, April 14th. Really good to be back with you today. For our thoughts for today, I want to go back to this idea. Sorry, I was distracted by looking at my betta over there. He's a pretty cool fish. Anyway, I want to go back to this idea of what it means to really be gripped by the resurrection. As we looked at yesterday, if the resurrection isn't the center of our life, then we're pitiable, actually stupid people, because we're basing our lives on a myth. And then Paul goes on to argue, if this resurrection thing isn't real, then we need to party, to eat, drink, and be merry, for we die tomorrow. Let's not waste any time when we have the chance to enjoy it, because when tomorrow comes, everything is over. He literally makes that argument. And if you and I aren't focused on the significance of the resurrection in the day and the things that we do, this makes us pitiable people. And I believe this is one of the things that weakens us in our testimony to our children, to people around us. I think it's why the church has lost credibility in society, because we don't have cultural impact, because we don't believe the core thing that makes us Christian. Jesus was raised from the dead. So Paul's language is extremely vivid and to the point. Death is the one thing that as Christians, we need to own that, both individually and collectively. Death has lost its sting. It can't conquer us. And if we live in abject fear of dying and of death, we deny the power of the resurrection. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not looking to die today. I'm not promoting a death culture. What I'm saying is that God has conquered death. That there is life. That Paul argues that even for rich people who have a lot of stuff. In 1 Timothy 6, Paul urges them to take hold of life that is truly life. See, we can all do that. We can all grab a hold of life that's truly life. And that life that's truly life is based upon knowing the resurrection exists. And that I'm not bound by death, and that death is not the ultimate tragedy. The ultimate tragedy is dying without Christ. But Paul is wanting us to weave this into everything that we're about, this living for the resurrection of Christ. So right after he warns about, makes the statement, a taunt even almost, if Christ isn't raised, then go ahead, party, eat, drink, be merry, do whatever you want, because we're going to die and it doesn't matter. But then he follows that with these words, bad company corrupts good character. Bad company corrupts good character. What bad company is he talking about? Well, obviously it applies in many ways, but specifically in context, the bad company is being with people who aren't committed to the centrality of the resurrection of Christ, who won't make ethical decisions, life-changing decisions about whether you're going to follow your desires or follow the Bible. If those things aren't centered on the resurrection of Jesus Christ, then they lose all meaning. And we become fools in the eyes of the world, in the eyes of our children, and basically in our own eyes too. So Paul is making an impassioned argument here for us. Don't let bad company corrupt your thinking to live life as if the resurrection doesn't exist. Because the only reason there is hope in life is that the resurrection did happen. That's what we want to hang on to. The struggles that you're facing in life, run it through the grid of the resurrection. You have new life in Christ. You can embrace life that is truly life. That means that there is a fake life out there, a life masquerading as life itself, but it's death that is masquerading as life. If you want to see the gates of hell and the ugliness of hell, look at the mirror and look at your own desires. That's calling you away from life. Think about that today. Is the resurrection central? Is it what drives you? Is it what gives you hope? I know that's a question I have to ask myself continually. And I would urge you to do the same. So that's our thought for today. How central is the resurrection to the things that you do, the things that you decide, the choices that you make? We're not talking about something here that's weird or ethereal or not practical. We're talking about the very practicality of having life that is truly authentic. Think about that today, and we'll be back tonight. Thanks so much for being here, praying for us that we can embrace life in a time when there's great fear, because we have a country, friends, family that need us to live life that's truly life. You have a great day. Thanks so much for being here. Bye-bye.